let's talk about how to draw some Southwest pottery. Now, we've already done a little bit of research and a little bit of practice sketching. Now, when we get our big paper, we're going to have to pick our favorite practice sketch. And first thing to decide is what shape our pot is going to be. Now, that's kind of a big decision because there's a lot of choices. Some of the pots have wide openings at the top. Some have smaller openings. Some have handles. Some are more rounded, while some have kind of a more, I don't know, I guess like a teardrop shape. So I have personally decided to go with more of a rounded pot. So I'm just gonna look at my sketches that I practiced. And on my big paper, I'm gonna try to make sure that my pot takes up only about the bottom half of the paper. Now the reason for that is because the cacti is obviously gonna go at the upper half. So I'm going to take my artist pencil and I'm going to start off by drawing an oval at the top. And you might be thinking, Miss Davidson, I can't see that. But I'm drawing really lightly on purpose because I'll probably have to do some erasing. Whenever you sketch, you're going to make some lines that aren't quite in the right spot. Like even on my oval here, I've already made a lot of lines that I probably won't need, but that's why I'm drawing so lightly. Once I have the shape that I like, then I can take my pencil and trace just a tiny bit harder over the lines that are good. Okay, now that's the opening of my pot. The bottom part of my pot, I've decided, is just going to have some curved sides. I'm trying to get it symmetrical, so I'm really paying attention to these curves. And once again, drawing lightly so that I can erase anything that isn't in the right place. And I'm going to round off that bottom part of the pot a little bit. Now my goal was to make the pot as big as possible. I really want to take up a lot of that paper at the bottom because the pot and the cacti are the focal point of our picture. It's the most important part, and it's the part that people are going to notice first. Now after you have your pot drawn how you like it, we're going to divide it into some different sections using line. It's always a lot easier to start your designs if you don't have just one big space, but if you rather break it down into kind of some smaller spaces. So I've already practiced doing that on my sketches, and I decided that the design I like most had a section over here, kind of a curved line, and then we can add kind of a straight line here, and then another slightly curved line right there. Now after you have your different sections done, and we're going to draw at least 1, 2, 3, or 4 lines, then you can start making a different line design in each section. Now that's a really big part of this project because since we're focusing on line, we really want to show a variety of lines. We're kind of showing off how creative we are with all the different ideas that we come up with. So I'm starting off with kind of some wavy lines here. And if I did wavy lines in one section, that means I probably don't want to do them again. In my next section, I might do some zigzag lines. And I'm just going to keep on going, developing these designs until my pot is very interesting and all filled up. When you're done sketching, if you would like, you can lightly take a pencil and shade in some of the areas that are going to be colored black. Like this line I know is going to be a thick line. So I'm just going to shade it lightly. And it doesn't have to be perfect coloring. That's just so that I can remember to shade in these areas with my Sharpie marker later on. Just to make sure that it's going to look good, having some areas really dark and some areas really light. These darker areas are really going to stand out nicely.